Welcome back to the show, everyone. I'm so excited. I've got our very own Paul Ortiz here. He's never been on my show before.
Wow.
Paul, you're here to tell us about Thrive.
Yeah, I've
and
been part of the Thrive Project for quite some time now, and we were going to talk a little bit about really, what it does.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I've been here almost 2 years,
Yeah.
and I'm still a little bit unclear, but I love that the message is about building confidence
Right.
and connection.
Connection is the biggest part.
It's huge.
So probably well over 15 years ago, Dr. Beth Perrick and myself started what was called then the Thrive Task Force, and basically it was just trying to get people out of their homes and to kind of socialize. So how could we do that? So we started putting together kind of cool events. And then I don't know if you remember, back in about 2013, there was a book called Humans of New York. And it was a photographer that went around New York and took pictures of people and then captured their story.
Really?
So Dr. Beth really enjoyed that whole process. So we thought, you know what, we need to capture people and just get them together so they can tell their stories. And that's really how Thrive started. And we've been working, we meet every month. We have about 6 to 8 people that help us on our task force. And we come up with ideas, and we have a great partnership with Memorial Care. So they help us with events and lectures and things like that. And so that's been a really good partnership for the last, I would say, 7 or 8 years.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Where do you get your speakers coming in from?
A lot of them are from Memorial Care because they're our partner. So like in February, we had one on probate and wills and trust, and it was their person that helps with planning. Other times we've been able to have the Orange County Fire Authority, even people that work here in our community, kind of like whatever is kind of like the hot topic during that time. Can we get that information out to the community? And then when we have our events, we have well over 100 people show up. And
Really?
the best part is they continue to show up, meet new friends, now have longtime friends, and socialize. And the picture behind you is one of our most popular events. That's our ice cream truck, and we'll be doing that this August. And we bring an ice cream truck to Clubhouse 7 out by the driving range, and people get free ice cream, and it's like you feel like you're 8 years old again. Yeah, it's awesome.
Waiting for the ice cream man to come down the street.
Yeah, get your ice cream sandwich or your 50-50 bar, whatever you like.
Oh, that's great.
That's really great. So that's one of our popular events, and the biggest thing is just trying to get people to come together and socialize.
Yeah, that's one of the most amazing things that I've learned about this community. Is there's so many ways to socialize, and there is no reason for anyone to stay at home alone.
There is no reason, but a lot of people still do. They just are apprehensive about getting out. There's probably 300 clubs in our community.
Paul, it's kind of intimidating when you feel like maybe it's a new resident and you want to go to some of these events, but a lot of people that are already at the events know each other, so you kind of feel like an outcast, right?
Yeah, there's always.
So how do you bridge that gap?
It is. I always tell people that this community too is a little bit like high school all over again. It's like, how do you go to the cafeteria and sit at a certain table and join that group and socialize and feel comfortable?
Exactly.
And that's what we do. We have large round tables, and we play games, mostly mind games, and introducing people's backgrounds so they have an interest amongst each other and get to know each other. But yeah, we've had a few where they go and sit at a table, but then once we put other people with them, we found quite a few of them start to open up because they feel comfortable. So we're just trying to get them to come out. And you don't have to pay a membership. You don't have to pay to get in. You can just enjoy the lecture and some of the information that we share. And we have treats. So, it's just come out, have a good time, meet new friends, and then, maybe come back again.
And so where can people find the lineup of speakers so that they can mark their calendars?
We do have a website. It's called thriveinthevillage.wordpress.com. And so you can actually go on there and see what our mission statement is. I did look at it this morning. We did have an event that was a brew coffee event that was there. We had in March, and that's still on there. But we'll be having our August event on there pretty soon. That way it has the date and the time. We always meet at Clubhouse 7. So if you go there, you'll see some information, and then we'll start to update all that information as we get into closer to summer. And that way people can join us in RSVP, of course, as well.
So beyond the lectures and the fun ice cream socials, do you have any other events planned?
Well, what we do to supplement that is we put together some PSAs working with the video club and with Mark Rubinowitz, who puts together some messages on the message board. And it's mostly just, messages of encouragement, So we do that just during the months in between our lectures. And this is another beautiful one that people might see on the message board. And we've done a couple of short videos with quotes that have to do with Thrive. And people kind of get a kick out of that. But these are great examples of what we see on the message board.
Right, exactly. So your talking points at the last lecture were really important. And also something that is really one of those things where I'll do it later, right? We're talking about wills and trusts and power of attorney and all those things that we don't want to talk about.
Right.
Right.
And they had a great speaker join us from Memorial Care. And he actually talked to them about what you can do to prepare. And the biggest thing is do something. If you live in this community, average age can be anywhere from 75 to 80. You should have something. Because you and I were talking yesterday. If your family has to go through probate, that is a very expensive and a long process.
Yeah, and at the end of it, you're probably not going to end up with much.
No,
right?
Right.
There's a lot of hands out during that process.
Right, and a lot of hands that really shouldn't be in there either, because the person that is maybe passed, their intention was not to give the state all this money and give a lawyer's group all this money.
Right.
So it's important that you do some planning. And so that was a wonderful speaker, and we'll probably have them back again. So if you see, one of our lectures with probate planning and trust, and it's not a sales pitch. None of our events are salesy. It's about, information. We had a lady that worked at the FBI, and you've had her on the show too, and it's about scams. Like, what kind of scams are out there, and how are people trying to take money from you?
Right.
So if you show up, it's not like, oh, can I get your, we're going to contact you like a timeshare or something like that. No, just great information. Enjoy your socialization, enjoy some treats, and head home. And if you want to follow up with any of them, they're welcome to.
Yeah, because subjects like that, you're not necessarily privy to, right?
Yeah.
Like, scammers aren't going to say, hey, we're going to scam you, right? So you're never going to know what the latest scam is, and they are so smart and so good. Wow. And you got to stay, you got to keep your radar up. You got to be aware. So
we somehow got into our director of the FBI, so it's kind of scary that, people can just, get into certain situations with software and hacking. And so when we do have these lectures on, how to avoid a scam, it's important that people attend.
It's really important, because otherwise, how are you going to find out about that information?
Right. The lady is phenomenal. So she knows, this is the latest one.
Right.
And they always come up with different hooks. So.
Oh yeah, they have to. They have to try to stay ahead of everybody finding out what they're doing, right?
Right. And that's really what Thrive is about, just getting people to be informed about things that are happening that can affect people in our community, and then to get together and have a nice time with us.
All right. Well, I've had a nice time with you here today.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for joining me.
You're welcome.
I'm going to switch it over to the Theater Guild next.